Whenever you want to talk to somebody, like I am talking to you, I have to use sounds. That sound by itself doesn't have any meaning, it is just a sound. I can never give you meaning. In fact, I can never know whether you are understanding what I am saying. Truly speaking, strictly speaking, what meanings you are making of, I have no idea. If I ask you what did you understand, again you will make sounds. And again I don't know, you don't know whether I am understanding what you are saying. So it is basically a mutually validated conspiracy. You never know whether what I mean and what you mean. But two people talking, that limitation you cannot get rid of. I have to use only sounds. And we will never know whether we are meaning the same thing. But when you talk to yourself, do you need a language? When you are talking to yourself, do you need a language to talk to yourself? I'm raising a logical question.
Yes.
See, suppose I want to tell circle. Okay, circle represents something, a shape and a visual, and what the shape can do, its uses and everything. So I have seen the shape, okay, seen some shape there, and the shape has given, it's an experience, that shape, color, whatever it is, it's an experience. Now for that I associated a sound, circle. In Kannada I will say vritta, Sanskrit I will say vritta, Hindi or something else. Like that I will have different words for the same thing. So depending on the audience I will use the language. But when I am talking to myself, first I decide what to tell. Then I decide the language. Because language, I can choose which language to use now. I can use Kannada or English or Hindi or whatever. What is it that I want to tell has already been decided before it has become verbal. You have already told it to yourself. But still somehow you package it with a word and you are sending a mail to yourself. It's like you are packaging it, posting it to yourself. The post will come back to you, you will again unwrap it, okay, post. That is what you are basically doing when you think. First you have decided what to tell. Then you packaged it with some word, some sound. Then you heard that sound back. Then you unpackaged it and got the meaning out of it. Why are you acting like two people? You are the sender and you are the receiver. Are you following? When you think in a language, when you talk to yourself, you are doing an unnecessary looping. Now this will become even more strange when you consider the word me. For every other word, if I say table, it is springing from somewhere, but it is pointing somewhere else. But if you look at the word me or myself in your language, it is a unique word, that is the only only word of its kind, which is coming from the same point and targeting the same point. Just to tell yourself, myself, why do you need a word? Your sense of existence is non-verbal. It is always being affirmed without your effort. So the purpose of self-inquiry is to go to that effortless affirmation which is always happening. It is not individual person making that happen. It's underneath, there is a underlying substratum which is always happening, which is always their existence. The purpose of self-inquiry is just to go back to that. This is not for a verbal answer again. This is not for a verbal, that's what. This is not for analysis. When you make it a question, it stops. Only if you make it a commentary, there is no stop to it. If you make a question, okay, I am uttering myself, fine. Where is this coming from? Question. The moment you bring up a question, you are left with only attention. After the question, you can only look, not look like that. It will be closer and closer to you. Even before you have affirmed, you have already told yourself, myself. There is a small time gap. You are trying to stop that before it becomes verbal. It's coming from you only. Where else it is coming from? So it is not searching like that. See, if there is a whiteboard, that is like your thought plane. Thought, it is not searching on the white plane. It is going towards the projector, which is you. If you keep searching in thought, you won't find anything. It will be in the head only. It goes one more thought. But if you ask, where is this being projected from? Projection is happening from you only.
Question is again thought. Ask the question, where is projected from?
Yes.
Thought again.
Yes. After that it is stopped. No? After that you can only look. Question is the end. After that you can only pay attention. Once you raise the question really, then you can only look, okay, where is it coming from? You're questioning thought. When you question something, you are shutting it up.
But I get more thought
About what?
question again, maybe try to justify answer or something else.
That will become philosophy. That will become philosophy, yes.
But it's philosophy, but for me inside it's happening actually. It will be happening. I will ask question. I will ask question and I will try to answer myself, justify something. It's happening again. How to cut that? How to break that?
How to break that? You have to read my book.
Not complete.
The simple way to put it is, if you realize that thought space is limited and it is not taking you anywhere, it will stop. Presently, there is some kind of faith on the thought process that it will give me some answer. That's why thinking will continue. There is faith on thought process. Actually, although everybody talks of God, and so many things, for most of humanity, thought is their God. Thought is their God. Thought is the entity which they have most faith on. That's why thinking happens. That's why they think thinking will lead me to something. That faith has to be broken. For that to be broken, you have to do some uncompromising inquiry and see the dead end of every argument. You have to see that it will finally come to an impasse. It cannot take you anywhere. I will try to show a few in the next class.